All right, everyone, welcome back into another Fantasy Golf video. Going to be breaking down the Procore Championship here for you guys, giving you guys the top picks and plays, as well as my first look build for this week. Let's go ahead and get into it. So this video is going to be a little bit different than I typically would do it. It's going to be a shortened version of it, guys. We're just going to go ahead and get straight into it. Not really talking about course history and all that too much. We'll talk about it in passing. But really this week comes down to Scottie Scheffler. So really the unique part about this week is that we are having a lot of the big name players playing in this event, whereas in years past, they basically have all skipped on it. Okay, the thought process for some of these maybe Ryder Cup players is to get them a tune-up week, a competitive tune-up week, which makes sense. You know, the Tour Championship was several weeks ago now. A lot of them didn't play it last week. And so this is their tune-up week. This is to get their competitive edge going again after, you know, the season being over. It's kind of a weird period in golf, especially for the big name players, where you had the Tour Championship, which is supposed to be one of the biggest events in the year. Then you have several weeks off. You don't really get a chance to reset, you know, especially for someone like Scottie Scheffler. Okay. And so he is extremely high priced. And so the theme that we've been doing for quite some time has been just paying up for Scottie Scheffler and figuring it out from there. Finally, they are really pricing it to a point where we do have to think about it a little bit. This is a very high price tag. I don't know if I necessarily feel the need to get to him this week, which is a little bit crazy. He has 2-1 odds, right? So, I mean, don't necessarily love that. But if you can afford to get to him, obviously you should be doing that. But I want to call it a lot of the top end players, guys, they do not have that course history. Okay, they typically do not play this event. I will say between like Justin Thomas, Russell Henley, Sam Burns, I kind of like them all the same, so I might just end up on Sam Burns the most pricing wise. Obviously, we're going to want to pay up. And then from there, we do have Ben Griffin here, who has just been, you know, I would say the 9-to-5 player of the year. I just rostered him a bunch thus far. The only issue is that the one start at this event 2 years ago he struggled with, but we know Ben Griffin's a completely different player right now than what he was 2 years ago. Okay, he's one of the top players in the world right now, fifth best form in the field, fifth best staff in the field. Really, again, going back to it, guys, the one kind of knock on him was that John Deere Classic random miscut and then the Open Championship miscut as well. Again, I've marked that as like a scheduling mistake on his part. He played a little bit too many events in a row, and then he had to travel overseas. Scheduling mistake there. Since then, 11th, 9th, 12th, and 10th. Okay, he's been playing extremely well. This is an event that he should play well, guys. Fifth best staff in the field, fifth best specialist as well. If you want to bet him at 25-1, I could get to that. The question I have, and maybe the thought process as well, I would love to hear your guys' thoughts in the comments, is like these Ryder Cup guys, are they going to be like geared up and ready to win? I would say yes. But at the same time, you have other PGA Tour players that are actually playing for something, whereas the Ryder Cup guys are going to be playing for, you know, a mental edge, if that makes sense. Whereas some other players are playing for their PGA Tour lives. I don't know. I'm a little bit more inclined to get to some of those guys rather than like Ben Griffin. Okay. So like Cameron Young's been playing some good golf. JJ Spawn is someone that we could probably target as well. But I will say, I am gearing up towards more of a fair and balanced approach. Like Harris English as price tag to me is pretty darn interesting, coming in with some strong form, guys. Third best form in the field. Course history, you know, one bad start here last year and then a top 10 finish. He's playing much better recently, so we can kind of, I think, ignore that miscut in a way. And so I think we're okay with him. Max Homa, I think he's like egregiously high priced. I don't know about you guys, but he's just been someone that's been very tough to trust. Now, one player that I do like a bunch, and I think is one of the better outright bets, is going to be Akshay. Okay, Akshay has only played this course once, and that was a top 10 finish 4 years ago, so don't necessarily love that. But we look at his results. 13th at the Tour Championship, would like that to be a little bit better, but 26th at the BMW Championship, would like that to be a little bit better as well. 6th withdrawal. Okay, so not necessarily great results, but not terrible. And we do got to consider the strength of the field. It is a very poor field. Okay, so he does rank out top 6 in the 9-to-5 model, top 10 in recent form. Not a terrible stat fit. And in terms of the key stats, what we were looking at this week is going to be birdie to bogey ratio, ball striking, stroke gain off the tee, and stroke gain approach. Okay, so we do have, you know, Cameron Champ, Jackson Coven, small sample sizes. Other than that, we have a lot of interesting like GPP flyers. Rico Hoy, Ben Coles is actually interesting. JJ Spawn's popping up in there. But Akshay is something like at his price tag, I am more inclined to get to. Top 20 or better in all the key metrics that we look at as well. But really, the play to me that I think stands out the most, okay, is Patrick Fishburne. Okay, so some people Might not like this. He's been someone that's casually popped really the whole past calendar year. It's just whether or not he's like been able to show up at some of the events. So Wyndham Championship top 10, ISCO Championship top 10, Barracuda 3M Open, lackluster starts. It's kind of the weeks that you trust in the most, are the weeks he let you down the most. Okay, so we don't necessarily love that. He's not a good specialist as well. 41st in the field. Actually, he has struggled in California events pretty poorly there. Okay, so we don't love that. But course history-wise, finished third last year at this event, so maybe there's something there. Not a terrible play. 14th play in the 9-5 model as a whole. And again, price tag-wise, I think that makes sense. Now, from there are two other players that I really like right here as well. Mark Hubbard. Okay, Mark Hubbard's been making 6 straight cuts in a row, 15th best in recent form rank. Pretty solid play across the board. Top 33 or better in all the key metrics that we look at. I'm fine with him. Michael Thorbjornsen is a good GPP play. I would argue he's someone that you could potentially look at as an outright bet as well. Very good stat fit. That's the reason why. Okay, someone had a recent, top 5 finish at the Rocket Mortgage Classic. You can get him about 75-1 odds. It's not terrible there with him. I'd be fine with that there as well. Continuing on, Bo Hazler's a little bit of an interesting click as well. 73rd at this event last year, not terrible. But then prior to that, 25th, 16th, 23rd. Not going to be a good stat fit, but we look at 3 out of his last 4 events, have been top 15 or better finishes. The issue with him is the one event where he missed the cut, he was terrible. That is kind of the Bo Hazler experience, though. Okay, a little bit annoying there. And then from there, I probably will begin to Rico Hoey a decent amount, I would say. He is someone that, definitely disappointing tail end this season. 67th at the Wyndham Championship, pretty poor there. 57th at the 3M Open as well. Very disappointing for him there as well. He was someone that was looking like he could win that week and then was just terrible. That was kind of the theme of last year. I keep saying last year, it's still this season, but you guys get the point. It's the fall swing is a little bit different. But anyways, 8th at the Barracuda Championship. Like, he showed some upside as well last year. He's going to be a good stat fit. So first in the field in birdie to bogey ratio, second in the field in ball striking. Second in the field in strokes gained off the tee. First in the field in ball striking. Could be a little bit better in birdie to bogey ratio, but top 10 in strokes gained approach as well. So all that bodes well for him. And so he, at that price tag, is also interesting. I like him as an outright bet at 110-1 odds. Those are kind of crazy odds to me there for him. Andrew Putnam is someone I typically do trust. Okay, guys, he is someone that I do think will give us a chance at a make cut. I think he's at a good price tag. Emiliano Grillo is at a interesting price tag as well. And so this is where I'm going with more of the fair and balanced approach this week rather than maybe a studs and duds approach. I wouldn't say I'm fading Scotty, but they have definitely priced him to the point where we really actually have to think about it. Now, that being said, if we play Scotty and then just play a bunch of these golfers down here, the 7.5 and lower range, we can still somewhat make it work. So kind of funny how they ended up doing that. One of my favorite plays as well is going to be Victor Perez, who has just been playing some very stellar golf recently. And he is someone that I don't mind at 125-1 on BetMGM as an outright bet. Definitely a pretty solid long shot bet, I would say. And that's just rooted in him playing some very strong golf, over the past several months now. Okay. Nothing great. Like his best start was at the RBC Canadian Open where he finished top 10. Okay. But maybe this time off is going to be a slight reset for him to, maybe make an adjustment to something that was lacking in his game. And if he makes that slight improvement, we could see a little bit more upside from him. Now, the flip side of that is maybe it regresses a little bit, and then those, kind of close made cuts become miscuts. So you kind of worry about that. But given the quality of the field, I do think we can expect him to make the cut. Good stat fit, guys. Top 10 in the field there. Recent form, top 12 in the field there as well. So he's another one, 125-1. I feel pretty good about. And DFS-wise, I think we're going to be clicking on there as well. And so we go ahead and take a peek at kind of what I'm looking at right now. Ben Griffin, Patrick Fishburne. I like that there. I think we can go to Victor Perez as well. And I will be going Rico Hoey as well. So it's kind of a weird week in the lineup path that we're going to get to. A little bit ugly, but as probably most of you guys know, that is early season PGA DFS for you. From there, it does, I would say, kind of fall off a little bit. Like Ricky Castillo, I'm fine with. William Mao, I think, is a fine GPP play as well. 2 plays I like. Kevin Roy, his game should set up pretty well for an event like this, so I don't mind him. Tom Hoge is a very interesting click, playing better-ish recently, but has very strong course history here as well. I think we could chase that as price tag, but it's not like he's egregiously mispriced. Thomas Rosenmoller, okay, he's interesting. So a very good stat fit. So second in the field in ball striking, top 10 in the field in strokes gained off the tee, and top 30 in strokes gained approach. Okay, he's made 4 straight cuts in a row as well. A very interesting click. I don't know. Would you guys consider him a long shot bet to win? Probably not, but 250 to 1 for a golfer that is, top 30 staff and top 30 in recent form does strike me a little bit there. I mean, maybe we can get to him at like 6 to 1 to top 20. That could be a bet that I don't mind getting to. Ben Coles is an interesting value. David Skins and David Lipsky are also two values that do stand out to me. So two sub 7K plays I think we can get to. Lipsky has made 5 straight cuts now. He's not the best in the 9 to 5 model, but that's rooted in the specialist ranking. He does rank out decent in course history, though, rooted in a pretty strong finish at this event last year. David Skins, 2 pretty good results, I would say, at this event, considering the price tag. We just need to make cut out of him, and he is someone that has made 4 straight cuts as well. 2 top 10 finishes mixed in there as well. So, not a terrible value play that we can think about there as well. From there are some other clicks that I think are okay, but let's go ahead and show you guys kind of what I'm looking at first look build-wise, and then we're going to compare that against the 9 to 5 lineup builder. And so what I'm looking at, I will put Akshay in there, a little bit risky, I will say, but again, we're not going to have any perfect plays. A lot of golfers have had a lot of time off now. The more time off, as you guys know, the more variance is going to enter in for that week. Don't love that aspect of it, but it is what it is. We can't control that. But I do like Harris English as well. A pretty solid fair and balanced build. Now, if you guys don't like this, if you guys want to be getting to Scotty, it becomes difficult. I will say that. Okay, so I don't hate it. Like, we play David Lipsky, we play David Skins there as well. Probably have to go down from Rico Hoy. Okay, and then I will go with Rosen Moeller there instead. And then we have 7.3 left over. Maybe we get to William Mao, maybe Ricky Castillo. So that's kind of the issue with playing Scotty. But again, this isn't a terrible lineup as well. To me, I think this is going to be a week where 4 out of 6 is the norm. And so if you just go with Scotty and you still get 4 out of 6, that's a big advantage on the rest of the field, assuming Scotty at least finishes top 5, which is obviously a 2 to 1. There's a high likelihood that he does that. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to set it to where the attribute, we're only going to be pulling in the 9 to 5 model rank. We're going to run 5 lineups, and then we're just going to click run. We'll show you guys what kind of the top lineup is right now when we do it that way. Cameron Young, JJ Spawn, Harris English, Bo Hosler, Emiliano Grillo, and Jasper Svensson. Interesting there. So definitely more of a fair and balanced approach there. Another one, very similar lineup path. And then you look at Scotty Scheffler, we're definitely going more of a studs and duds approach there. So it's saying Scotty, Henley, and then going very much studs and duds. I don't hate it, but I don't love that approach as well. What we're going to notice this week is we're going to have a pretty low 6 for 6 likelihood, guys. It's going to be very difficult to get a lineup that has about a 10% or higher chance to get 6 for 6 across the cut line. That's going to do it for this video. A little bit faster of a video this week, and that's rooted in NFL going on right now, guys. So if you guys are interested in NFL content, head on over to 9to5sports.com. Well, you can do that, but head on over to the 9 to 5 Sports YouTube channel as well. I have content there for you guys for the NFL season. But that's going to do it for this video, guys. Like the video, subscribe to the channel. If you guys would like access to any of the fantasy golf tools or any of the NFL tools, head on over to 9to5sports.com. Get access to all those tools for a low monthly cost of $10 a month. Thanks for watching. Good luck. And as always, let's keep cashing.